Cheers, mate. That was it. My stuff's lagging right now, y'all, but I'll be back with you. Waiting for my instant messenger to load. I haven't opened up on my phone in a while. I'm on my computer in a while. Close my eyes. Sweet. Hello?
At the top of the evening news, the story of a pair of boys whose last emotions Coleman immediately turned off the television and shuffled the doors of the bed. Good night. Kimberly and Virginia watched the dishes. Aware of the growing need for attention, Coleman realized he never needed to change things. He found some scissors and cut off his hair. Coleman, round at his side, approached the empty room with the mother. Just upstairs, James and Johnny were asleep.
Oh, the toy, I see. Really? I have to throw them.
They dragged the slim woman and her daughter downstairs and stuffed her into a crawl space.
The pressure was mounting. It was becoming increasingly stressful because here we were for the fourth time catching up with them when we found the bodies.
Coleman and Brown's ammo was designed to catch their victims off guard.
Someone comes up to your house on a bicycle. I figured that would be home. If they're walking, they will assist. But if they ride the bike, they're good. Your car is already used.
Get off.
I just took for a second. You gonna do that? No.
The FBI to add another position on the 10 most wanted fugitives list. It was a rare occurrence. The number 11 ranking was reserved for particularly vicious killers.
A description fitting Coleman and Brown. The magnitude and importance of it. You've already got 10 that are bad, but here's what was so bad for anybody else on. We're going to make an exception for you on anyway. He's going to go alive.
With the national media spotlight focused on the company,
And in following these cases fighting people, there is nothing better than publicity. Because all you need is one phone call. One person saying, I saw this picture and I noticed this individual.
phone calls reported for the fruits of speaking. following the task force headquarters. Hopefully, we'll be able to get one step ahead of the future. The investigators were sure that Holden and Brown were tired of a life at home and returned from the hotel. Agents contacted everyone at two associates involved.
Fuck you, Facebook. Try to end my shit.
Hoping that we could
Toodles.
investigators responded to a frantic 911 call from Cincinnati, Ohio. Michelle Stone told the officers what had happened that day. Michelle's father, Jackson, that they were interested in buying his camper, which was for sale on the driveway. Jack's wife, Anna, joined them. As Jack and Anna chatted, Michelle When she arrived home later that day, Michelle noticed the bikes the couple had arrived on were still in the yard. And her father's car was missing. Inside, she found her parents' home had been vandalized. Mom! She had called out to her mother and father. Hearing no response, her mind began to race as she stepped through the shattered glass and overturned furniture. As she called 911, Michelle could hear a weak voice calling out from the door. Next to the basement door, she noticed a bloody palm. She walked down into the dimly lit room, not knowing what she might find. Lying next to each other, motionless on the floor, she discovered her parents. Her father, Jack, was barely alive. As she returned to the house, she lifted the sheet. Her mother was dead. Michelle waited by her father's side for help to arrive. Michelle's description of the couple that had stopped by her parents' house earlier that day matched the fugitives, Coleman and Brown. A forensic team went to work collecting evidence. Among the items was a pair of plastic shoes next to Anna Stone. The suspects included a description of Brown wearing these same shoes. Crime scene technicians also retrieved other bloody tools found around the body. Later, forensics confirmed that coke was used to kill Mrs. Stone. Holmes' proofs were all present. He made no attempt to conceal his crimes. But there was nothing to suggest where the couple had gone.
It was all dead ends. Every time we find a body, they were gone. We don't have anything as to which way that line. You have no indicators as to who their next victim would be. If they want sexual gratification, they may snatch a child. If they need a vehicle, they may snatch an adult. Just don't know. They've got a couple of mad dogs out there.
The crime against the Stones showed the couple was able to gain the trust of people from outside the Black Oak centers where they had found their first 4 victims. This realization only complicated the investigation. Coleman could feel
Where they would come up on a bicycle and start chatting, and he would be looking to play in a card game, or sometimes they would respond, they wanted to buy something, or they had something for sale. He was an extremely glib person, a real con man, and people trusted him. Plus, he was traveling with a woman, and so people were not nearly as suspect of him as they should have been.
Though Coleman's rage continued to intensify, his ability to charm more victims remained consistent, and he was showing no signs of growing tired of the kill. A month and a half had passed since Alden Coleman and Deborah Brown had gone through the killing spree that had left 5 victims dead. In Cincinnati, Coleman bludgeoned the husband and wife, leaving the wife dead, the husband barely clinging to life. Their car was missing. NAPD was immediately put out of the vehicle. 2 days later, a farm worker discovered the abandoned car on his property in Lexington, Kentucky, 105 miles away from the crime in Cincinnati. In less than 2 days, the fugitives had traveled hundreds of miles across 2 states. The FBI media blitz was needed on a few places to hide. But the couple appeared to be heading further away from their home, not close enough as investigators had hoped.
When you're talking about Alden Coleman and Deborah Brown, they are not a normal killing machine. A normal killing machine is going to be one person. We've now got 2 up there. They're working together. They're feeding off each other. One's giving support. Those are the problems. How do you couldn't separate them? You couldn't talk to one. You couldn't talk to either one of them.
Knowing Coleman would eventually leave to steal the car, the FBI saturated the Lexington, Kentucky area. They did not have to wait long for signs that he was still in town. In a hotel parking lot, Professor Emily Conlon was assaulted and his car stolen. The couple forced him to hand over his cash and car keys. Leaving Professor Woodman still alive, they sped away. After receiving medical attention, police asked Carmichael to look at mugshots of the FBI's most wanted fugitives. Without hesitating, he pointed to Coleman and Brown. The FBI were now holding 3 fugitives. NADB was issued for Carmichael's car. In a matter of hours, they received a response. It came from police in an Ohio town close to the Kentucky border. The professor's car was found, abandoned behind some vacant buildings. Coleman and Brown were nowhere in sight. For the experienced agents, finding the car in Ohio meant Coleman and Brown were probably on their way home.
Gut instinct is going to tell you he's going to come back home. He may not come back to Waukegan, but he's going to come back to some place that he feels comfortable in. He'd never been to Gary, Indiana. He'd never been to Detroit. He'd never been to Toledo. He'd never been to Cincinnati, Dayton, Ohio, Lexington, Kentucky. At some point, he's going to get tired. He's going to want to get back to comfort. Some place that he feels comfortable. He knows the streets. He knows the people. He's going to feel comfortable. He's coming back.
The FBI immediately set up a dragnet. Agents in police offices from across several states joined forces to track Coleman and Brown as they headed home to Illinois. Reports of stolen vehicles or assaults would be given immediate attention. An officer in Dayton, Ohio, responded to a report involving an assault on a stolen car. The call came from an elderly couple, Reverend and Mrs. Gay. Reverend Gay had been badly beaten. Mrs. Gay told the officer that a young couple they had met police car had broken into their house. After beating them, the attackers demanded the keys to their station wagon. According to the description, the attackers were Coleman and Brown. Impressed by the powerful lawyer and flattered when she caught his eye. Investigators learned that while Capano showered Anne-Marie with expensive gifts, he only romanced her in out-of-the-way places to avoid being seen. She felt a strong attraction to the charismatic older man, but feared her family's disapproval and kept the affair secret. As months passed, Anne-Marie confided to her friends that Capano's charming exterior belied an angry and manipulative man. He understood love only in terms of control. She told her friends that she couldn't trust him. By the spring of 1996, his manipulation and anger had damaged their relationship beyond repair. Capano told Anne-Marie that he had separated from his wife so they could stop hiding. Anne-Marie wanted out. Capano refused to let go. Detectives learned that shortly before Anne-Marie disappeared, she began seeing Michael Scanlon, who she found caring and stable. It was the relationship she had always hoped for. The prospect of a marriage proposal seemed promising. Thomas Capano continued to pursue her. Anne-Marie told friends that Capano was stalking her. She was scared and wanted him out of her life. Capano refused to accept the rejection.
Tom Capano had never been told no before. He thought that he could control everything, his life and everything in everybody else's life. Finally, somebody, Anne-Marie Fay, stood up to him and told him, "I've had enough." And Tom couldn't help.
The Fahey family posted a $10,000 reward for information relating to Anne-Marie's disappearance. Over the 4th of July weekend, hundreds of concerned citizens helped police conduct a massive search for the local park where Anne-Marie often lived. The governor himself joined them.
Thank you for everybody who knows about Anne-Marie.
They found no trace of the missing secretary. The case became a federal investigation since Anne-Marie, a resident of Delaware, was last seen in Pennsylvania. Special Agent Eric Helton, FBI's Wilmington field office, offered his help.
I contacted him and asked him if we could be of any assistance. He said we could. At that point, we pulled telephone records and credit card records.
With the help of the U.S. Attorney, Albert secured credits on Staples and phone books from Thomas Capano and Anne-Marie Fahey. Assistant U.S. Attorney Colin Collins paid $350
that point, we had probable cause to believe Tom Hanlon played a role in the disappearance of Anthony Day. But what we didn't have was probable cause that we find evidence in his house.
Hoping to establish probable cause in order to obtain a search warrant, investigators learned that Capano's housekeeper cleaned his home 4 days before Anne Marie's disappearance. She added that Capano canceled her service the following week, claiming that the house would then stay open. The detective quickly noted the inconsistency in Capano's story. On the night he was questioned in his home, the attorney claimed his children were upstairs asleep. 3 weeks later, the housekeeper returned to the residence and noticed something that struck her as odd. The love seat and carpet from the living room were gone. In their place sat 2 chairs and a brand new carpet. This simple observation gave Assistant U.S. Attorney Colin Connolly all he needed to move forward.
So when you combine the rug and the couch, Tom found stated that he had brought Emily to his home on the evening of June 27th. And you combine that with all the other evidence we knew about their tumultuous relationship, we now were armed with probable cause to get a search warrant for his house.
Connolly and FBI agent Eric Alpert prepared an airtight 37-page search warrant for Thomas Capano's Wilmington home, serving it on July 31st, 1996. Detective Robert Donovan didn't know what they'd find, but they knew where to look.
We searched the entire residence and took special attention to this waiting period because we believe that Emily Faye was murdered in that room.
The team found the 2 chairs and new carpet described by the housekeeper. They moved them to see what might be hidden underneath.
Hey, careful with the bird.
The floor was clean. On the baseboard nearby, agents found something promising. Barely visible to the untrained eye, they saw 2 brown spots that appeared to be dried blood. Agents retrieved samples by swabbing the area with a mild saline solution. Investigators hoped the FBI lab in Washington, D.C. could provide stronger forensic evidence for the samples. For DNA lab examiner Alan Justice, testing the recovered material was a challenge.
The items themselves are not very large. The stains were actually fairly small, and because of that, we have to be careful because our test will consume part of the stain to test to determine if it's blood.
Justy performed a Kastle-Meyer test. This test requires only a pinhead-sized specimen. He applied the chemical phenolphthaleate, which turns pink red blood. The test worked. For Agent Eric Alpert and the team, the discovery was important.
This is very significant because at this point we had no murder weapon and had no other physical evidence in the case, so finding blood was very important to us. We needed to find whose blood that was and whether it matched Anne Marie Faye's blood.
It was impossible to determine whether the blood belonged to Anne Marie without DNA samples from her or her parents. Samples from her siblings would be too disparate to provide solid results. Unfortunately, Anne Marie's parents were deceased. Anne Marie's brothers and sisters provided investigators with a possible lead. A check of the missing woman's calendar book revealed that she had given blood a month before she disappeared. Agents went to the blood bank to subpoena the sample. It was too late. Her blood had been people that are very influential that just would not believe the talk about his skateboard work. And, and were mad at us for investigating. Were mad that we believed he was the fact. Although that was frustrating because it was tough to get anybody that was cooperative. The team believed that if Capone killed Anne Marie, someone close to him probably helped dispose of the body. But no one was talking. With no body, no DNA sample, no murder weapon, and no cooperation from his cohorts, the federal case against Thomas Capone was weak. On August 6th, Agent Elker received a call from Sean Taylor, a project manager at Lewis Capone's development company. Taylor knew something he believed might interest investigators. He agreed to meet agents and detectives in a secure location, fearing what would happen to him if the Capone brothers found out he was trouble with the authorities. He described an unusual event that occurred the day after Anne Marie was reported missing.
He advises he was a project manager at one of the Wizard and Associates construction sites. He stated that he was ordered on July 1st, the Monday after Anne Marie Bickey's disappearance, to have 4 dumpsters on the property pulled and dumped. And he felt that was strange because none of them were full. And it would be very out of character to do that because of the cost of dumping something like that.
This reinforced investigators' suspicion that Thomas Capone had help disposing of Anne Marie's body. Lewis Capone's development company was served with a subpoena for the dumpster evidence. As investigators began to turn up the heat on the powerful Capone family, they hoped one of the brothers would turn on his tables and tell authorities about Anne Marie's disappearance.
Driving me crazy.
Solid bonds between brothers began to strain. Thomas managed to keep everyone in line.
Later, bye.
Under Oaker, who was known to be a dumpster. No identification, no purse, no wallet, no passport. A chameleon, constantly changing identities, allowing him to kill across 3 different countries.
Are you high? She was falling. Red over tears. Falling. This is my life with cystic fibrosis. Living for my treatment instead of doing my treatment so that I can live. None of them that I'm all about to do what I do. How many of them are trying to take down a lab company?
That music has to come first. It's something bigger than all of us. My name is Red, and I'm Matt. Like this. They should be like Annie.
Meditation.
Undaunted, investigators continued to pursue their rescue.
So we traced that dumpster
She is neat.
The recovery team searched for anything that could be traced back to Thomas
Further about the carpeting, maybe a love seat, possibly a murder weapon, and also possibly Anne-Marie Betty's body.
For 4 hot, grueling days, FBI agents scoured the landfills. They found nothing. The investigators finally walked away tired and frustrated. Despite their strong suspicions, they didn't have enough evidence to bring charges. To agents, detectives, and prosecutors, it looked as if Thomas Capano had gotten away with a perfect murder.
No one gets away with a perfect
In
murder.
August 1996, FBI agents and Delaware authorities continued to pursue evidence against Thomas Capano for the murder of his former mistress, Anne-Marie Fahey. She had been missing for 8 weeks and was presumed murdered by herself. As FBI agent Eric Albert explains, investigators had no physical evidence to support their theory.
There are several challenges in this investigation. We had no murder weapon, no true crime scene, no body, and no witnesses who would come forward and give us information as to what had happened.
On September 6th, investigators received the call they were hoping for. The blood plasma Anne-Marie had donated a month before her disappearance had been recovered just before it reached its European destination. Agents needed a known sample of Anne-Marie's DNA to compare to the unknown sample from the blood spots found in Capano's house. But DNA lab examiner Alan Giusti didn't know if the plasma would be sufficient.
The problem with extracting DNA from plasma is that plasma is a portion of blood that is separated from the blood cells, and the blood cells are what contain the DNA. So when you're working with plasma, you're actually working with a very poor source of DNA.
To his surprise, he found residual red blood cells in the plasma. This enabled Giusti to retrieve a small amount of Anne-Marie's DNA. He compared her DNA sequence to the sequence from the unknown source. They matched. There was only a minute chance that the blood spots from Capano's house did not belong to Anne-Marie Fahey. Investigators now had the piece of physical evidence that he could suspicion of Thomas Capano. They knew what he did. Capano's cell phone records revealed that he had called the the morning after Anne-Marie disappeared. Investigators learned that Debbie Baggett's body was not. They called each other frequently and sure had a relationship. They refused to mention that sometimes Debbie Baggett hired men out of there for 12 years. Same night he having a fit Anne-Marie Fahey was also having an affair with Debbie McIntyre. Agents also learned that Jerry Capano
So it's nice.
owned the boat anchored with something. Detective Robert Donovan investigated.
We found out that they had sold it locally. Somebody wanted to purchase it. We were able to track them down and looked at his boots.
They scoured the boat for traces of Anne-Marie. The new boat owner told investigators
Wow, sun comes
Jerry
up.
Capano had sold
I like.
without anchors. They suspected that the anchors were now wrapped around Anne-Marie's body. Assistant U.S. Attorney Colin Connolly and his team turned their attention to Jerry Capano.
The sun's coming up tonight.
In November 1996, we put in place this undercover operation. The idea that we would gather incriminating evidence.
Everybody tonight.
And
No one's around.
information
Fuck is everybody, man.
28.
Hey, 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 we like to party. We like to smoke dogs in the
If
tie.
agents gathered enough evidence to bring federal charges against Jerry, they could pressure him to talk about his brother's role in the murder. For 11 months, undercover agents tracked Jerry's every move. They learned that he frequented bars and nightclubs and used illegal drugs. They also learned that he collected firearms, a federal crime for a known drug business. If agents found anything like Michael Jordan's 7,000 weapons, they had the physical evidence needed for the records. They found a small arsenal of guns stored in the bedroom closet. Agent Alfred searched the laundry room near the kitchen. He dug through the pockets of Jerry's clothes. Jerry's collection of rifles and handguns wasn't illegal per se, unless they found illicit drugs on the premises. Agent Alfred found one. He recovered cocaine and marijuana. Now investigators say they need to charge Jerry They didn't either. Prosecutors would offer immunity if Jerry would testify against his relatives.
We did not believe Jerry had any role in the murder of Henry Fahey. We only believed he had a role in the cover-up and the disposal of evidence. And we also knew he was very loyal to his brother. He almost viewed his brother as a father figure. But at the same time, he had a wife, he had children, he had a life, and probably wouldn't want to give.
Come on down and shuffle. Bob right here. Come on down. Price is right. Bob right here. So come on down. The price is right. The Parker era.
It wasn't about you, it was about my business. I wish that I could show you a little help. All the places I have seen. This is number one. No one else brings Latinos front and center. I get that feeling. This is where a vibrant American culture is celebrated and elevated. Latino vibes. Where Latinos are 100% represented. Oh, wow. The headliners, the creators, they're ready. The innovators.
We got a treat for you for getting up here.
Y'all feeling it? Yeah, that's a vibe check. Now, Latino vibes. Watch now.
Welcome backstage. This is where you get all access. Hollywood mysteries, something was wrong. Chilling investigations. With me, when introduced to drugs, couldn't handle it. Go talk, scandals, and crimes. I'm not really having all these feelings about it. Real drama, real celebrity. Watch now.
And that was the card we had to play.
After the raid, the FBI allowed Jerry Capano to consider all that was at stake. He was forced to choose between his brother and his wife and children. The pressure upon Jerry Capano was enormous. Not only was he one of Thomas Capano's closest allies, he was his brother.
Oh, yeah. I got my first payout from Facebook the other day. I didn't even realize it until I checked.
They had no way of knowing.
That was pretty cool. I was pretty ecstatic about that.
Thomas Capano to justice. A year and a half after the disappearance of Anne Marie Fay, Jerry Capano asked to see the FBI and U.S. Attorney Colin Conley on November 8, 1997. Federal authorities had threatened Jerry Capano with federal firearm charges if he did not cooperate with their investigation. They suspected Jerry had helped his brother Thomas Capano dispose of Anne Marie's body in the Atlantic Ocean. With legal counsel by his side, Jerry related his involvement in the incident. It began months before Anne Marie's June 28th disappearance. In person. Early in 1996, his brother Thomas came to him with a problem. Jerry told agent Eric Albert that he didn't realize Thomas had lied to him.
In February 1996, Thomas Capano went to his brother Jerry and told him that he was being extorted and somebody was threatening his children. He asked Jerry to get him some cash to help pay the extortionists. He also asked Jerry for a gun and said that he might need Jerry's help someday with the boat to dispose of the extortionist's body.
Jerry provided Thomas with $8,000 and a gun he asked for. Thomas returned about a month later, telling Jerry the money was enough. He didn't need the gun after. He heard little else about Thomas Capano until Friday, June 29, 1996. Early in the morning, Jerry stepped out of his house to find his older brother parked at the end of the driveway. Thomas looked upset.
6 o'clock in the morning, Tom, what are you doing?
I knew he'd get covered.
I don't want to start it.
Jerry knew as soon as Tom asked him to vote that Tom had been involved in killing somebody. And Jerry said to Tom, "Did you do it?" And his brother said yes. And Jerry said he didn't want to have any part of it. They don't have Tom, and he refused to get off the boat. He said he had a wife, he had kids, he had a beautiful home. And Tom played the brother card. Tom said, "I have nobody else to turn to. My kid brother, please help me."
I'll make you sure that half an hour.
And finally, Jerry relented. And Jerry agreed to meet Tom and to go to Stone Harbor and to take the boat out and dispose of the body.
Behind closed doors, they met inside Thomas's garage, where he asked Jerry to help him load a heavy cooler into his truck. He never opened the cooler, but Jerry believed the body of Thomas's extortionist was stuffed inside. Only the carpet remained. Jerry told his brother not to take it on the boat because it probably would sink. When they arrived in Stone Harbor, New Jersey, they carried the cooler down the dock in plain sight. It was a common cooler used by fishermen at the marina, large enough to carry an ample supply of bait. No one would think twice about two men loading the heavy container onto a boat. The brothers fueled up and headed for the open waters of the Atlantic. Thomas Capano ordered his brother to motor 60 miles offshore, where the water was deep enough to hide the body permanently. No one else could be close enough to see what the brothers were about to do. They heaved the cooler into the sea, but Thomas Capano miscalculated. The makeshift coffee floated. Thomas then ordered Jerry to sink the cooler by firing slugs into it. The cooler still floating. The millionaire lawyer retrieved it and decided to sink the corpse without the cooler. His younger brother wanted no part of it. He moved to the front of the boat while Thomas wrapped the boat's anchors around the body. What Jerry Capone saw next was critical for Detective Robert Dunham.
Jerry turned around. He gets done where he done what he done. Tom tells him to be outdone. As Jerry turns around to look at Tom, he sees a calf, a foot sinking down.
On their way back to Stone Harbor, Thomas Capano disassembled the cooler and scattered its parts into the ocean.
Tom said he needed me to come back to the house and he had something else to do with it.
The work wasn't finished. His brother needed to dispose of more evidence in the house.
Tom says, I need your help getting rid of this little couch. Jerry sees it staying on the couch, which would be right about shoulder height, which is a large, he described as a basketball size.
Investigators believe the stain was caused by a fatal gunshot to Anne Marie's head.
Keep coming back.
What's up, Mama? Let's see how you doing. Sorry, I went to complete days. How you doing today? Well, tonight.
Dynasty channel is here. There's one thing I find that everything starts and ends with that long sausage. Just sides actually everywhere. All day. That's what I'm talking about. I'm super excited about it. It's home for this, this, and this.
Thanks, babe.
Dynasty.
We meet 3 women who have come to Rome to star in their very own romantic comedy. I feel like I'm in the Lady of the Tramp. This is a real life fairy tale.
They dumped the couch.
I'm smoking dab just randomly.
Jerry had nothing more to add. When word got out, Jerry had cooperated with investigators. His brother Lewis and Davis was one of the 2 days. There's a record. Lewis Capone counted to a mistake and admitted that he had many constables to move the dumpsters earlier this week. Less than a week later, on November 12, 1997,
Get her done, boys.
brother Joseph loading suitcases into their truck. They were heading for New Jersey. Agent Albert Peter Thomas was fleeing from the station.
Told him the details and said we need to make a decision on what we're going to do.
Investigators felt they still didn't have enough to charge Thomas Capone with kidnapping and murder, but agreed they had to stop him from fleeing. Albert ordered his arrest on grounds that Capone had obstructed justice by coercing his brothers to give false testimony. 17 months after the disappearance, the suspected killer of Anne Marie Fahey was finally in custody. Two brothers now stood against one. But investigators still had no body and no murder weapon. On November 12, 1997, the FBI arrested prominent Delaware lawyer Thomas Capone. He was the prime suspect for the murder of Anne Marie Fahey. His younger brother Jerry claimed Thomas had dumped a corpse into the Atlantic Ocean. Jerry pointed investigators to the area off the New Jersey shore, but they never found Anne Marie's body. Assistant U.S. Attorney Colm Connolly had a daunting task ahead of him.
We didn't have a body, and that's always a problem. There have only been a handful of prosecutions in the country that have been successfully done without a body. In Delaware, prior to this case, there had only been one case prosecuted without a body, and it had resulted in an acquittal.
The only physical evidence they had against Thomas Capone were two specks of Fahey's blood found in his living room. While investigators prepared the difficult prosecution, Special Agent Eric Albert learned something that would strengthen their case.
We received a phone call from an individual who said that he had found the cooler floating in the ocean around the weekend of July 4th, 1996. And I asked him to further describe the cooler, and he said that the cooler was missing, but it had a bullet hole in it.
The lead sounded promising. The caller read an article about Capone's arrest and reported a cooler was used in a crime. But the story never mentioned that the lid was missing or that a slug had pierced it. Albert immediately drove the 2 hours to Bay City, New Jersey to check the lead. On the weekend of July 4th, 1996, Ken Chubb was fishing 6 miles off Indian River when he came across a cooler bobbing in the ocean.
Had two bullet holes, and let's think that we were amazed that this was a brand new cooler. But we weren't amazed that the bullet holes on the left was your shark line. There might have been a shark flopping around and then they shot it, and that's where the blood came from.
Yes, sure.
Chubb patched the holes, replaced the lid, and used it as his own until the Capone arrest story broke. Agents discovered the barcode on the cooler matched the one Capone purchased with his credit card on April 22nd, 2 months before Anne Marie disappeared.
The cooler was important in this case because it prevented Tom Capone's defense team pretty much from saying that Jerry Capone was lying. It cooperated exactly what Jerry Capone had told us well before we would ever find this cooler.
The cooler was their second piece of physical evidence, and its purchase demonstrated Capone's premeditation. Investigators still had no murder weapon. They searched records in local gun stores for purchases by Capone or by others close to him. They hit pay dirt. Investigators discovered that Capone's mistress, Debbie McIntyre, had purchased a .22 caliber Beretta, May 13th, 1996, 6 weeks before Fahey disappeared. They brought McIntyre in for questioning. She pretended that her relationship with Thomas Capano was more casual than it actually was. Connolly asked if Capano owned a gun. McIntyre denied it.
Yeah. I asked her, "Do you own a gun?" And immediately, her demeanor changed. She started blushing. She got very nervous. It was clear that she was lying, and she told us this fantastical story about buying a gun and then throwing it in the garbage can. And we asked her, did anybody know she had bought that gun? And she said, one person, and it was Tom Capano.
Connolly pointed out that if McIntyre supplied the gun to Capano, she had committed a felony. Under the advice of an attorney, McIntyre admitted that Capano had asked her to buy the gun in the first place. The trial began on October 26, 1998.
What's everybody doing today?
Early on in the proceedings, Capano surprised the prosecution by admitting that he had disposed of Fahey's body as Jerry had testified.
Nixon there.
He also admitted to asking his brother Louis to empty the dumpsters early. On the witness stand, Capano painted his own version of events on the evening of June 27, 1996. After dinner, he and Anne-Marie came back to his place. According to Capano, they had resolved their differences. They were enjoying each other's company when Debbie McIntyre burst into his house.
What are you doing?
Angry and despondent, McIntyre threatened suicide. Anne-Marie was killed instantly. Despite his legal training, Capano claimed he didn't call police because he was trying to protect McIntyre and himself. Instead, he retrieved the cooler that he said was to be a gift to his brother. He decided to use it as a coffin. During cross-examination, Capano pointed out that Capano had prosecuted a similar case in 1976 and served as Assistant Attorney General for that year. In that, at the time, one of his in the state's version of events, Capano forced Anne-Marie Fahey to return to his house. She was determined to end the affair. Capano would not be jailed. He took out the Beretta that McIntyre bought for him and shot Fahey in cold blood. Then he stuffed her into the... At about 9:45 the same day, he handed Anne her apartment with fresh groceries and a new pantsuit she would never wear. He carefully tried to cover his tracks as he had planned for months. On January 17, 1999, the jury returned with a verdict. Based on his brother's testimony, blood evidence, the once prominent lawyer and millionaire Thomas Capano was found guilty of first degree murder.
We were able to reaffirm a lot of people's faith in the judicial system here. And the system works. I think we accomplished justice here.
Stay high. Stay safe. Stay motivated, y'all.
Not only been able to bring about justice,
Catch you around.